Good afternoon, students. In last lecture, we have discussed about the uh, choice of cogeneration and influence of cogeneration. Right. In this lecture, we have to discuss important technical parameters for cogeneration. Parameters for cogeneration. See here, while selecting cogeneration system, one should consider some important technical parameters that assist in defining the type of and operating scheme of different alternative cogeneration systems to be selected. Right. So first is heat to power ratio. It is very important technical parameter. Here, this ratio is one of the most important technical parameters influencing the selection of the type of cogeneration system. The heat to power ratio of facility should match with the characteristics of cogeneration system which is going to be installed. So it is defined as the ratio of thermal energy to electricity required by the energy consuming facility. Though it can be expressed in different units, such as unit is BTU per kilowatt or calorie per kilowatt, LB per hour per kilowatt. Here it is presented on the basis of the some energy unit, that is kilowatt. Second parameter is quality of thermal energy needed. See here, it is also important parameter or technical parameter, that is quality of thermal energy needed. The quality of thermal energy required, temperature and pressure also determines the type of cogeneration systems. Right. For a sugar mill needing thermal energy at about 120 degrees Celsius, a topping cycle cogeneration system can meet the heat demand. On the other hand, for a cement plant requiring thermal energy about 1450 degrees Celsius, a bottoming cycle cogeneration system can meet both high quality thermal energy and electricity demand of the plant. So the quality of thermal energy needed is upon the type of plant. Third is load patterns. See here, in the load patterns, the heat and power demand patterns of the user affect the selection of the cogeneration system. Right? In this, the heat and power demand pattern of the user affect the selection of the cogeneration system. Right, this is about load pattern. Third is fuel availability or fuel available. Which fuel is available for the plant is very important parameter. So depending on the availability of fuel, some potential cogeneration systems may have to reject it. The availability of cheap fuel or waste products that can be used as fuels at a site is one of the major factor in the technical consideration, right? For the cogeneration, because it determines the competitiveness of the cogeneration system. For example, a rice mill needs mechanical power for milling and heat for paddy drying. If a cogeneration system we are considered, the steam turbine system would be the first priority, because it can use the rice husk as fuel, and which is available as waste product from the mill, right? Next, system reliability. System reliability. See here, in this some energy consuming facilities required very reliable power and heat. For instance, pulp and paper industry cannot operate with prolonged availability of process steam. In such instant, the cogeneration system to be installed must be modular. That is, it should consider of more than one unit, so that shutdown of a specific unit can not seriously affect the energy supply. So next is retrofit versus. Sir, see here, in the retrofit, new installation, if a cogeneration system is installed as a retrofit, the system must be designed so that the existing energy conservation system such as boilers can still be used. In such circumstances, the option for cogeneration system would depend on the whether the system is retrofit or new installation. Seventh parameter, that is electricity buyback. Electricity buyback. See here, in this, the technical consideration of a cogeneration system must take into account whether the total regulations permit electric utilities to buy electricity from the cogenerators or not. The size and type of cogeneration system could be significantly different if one were to allow the export of electricity to the grid. And eighth parameter is local environmental regulation. See here, it is also important parameter, local environment regulation. The local environmental regulations can limit the choice of fuel to be used for the proposed cogeneration system. If the local environmental regulations are stringent, some available fuels cannot be considered because of the high treatment cost of the polluted exhaust gas, and in some cases the fuel itself. So this is all about the third chapter, that is cogeneration. Here we यहाँ पर हमने ये को जनरेशन चैप्टर ख़त्म किया है। इसमें से हमें एक केस स्टडी लेना है को जनरेशन के ऊपर। शुगर मिल, ये प्रैक्टिकल भी है हमारा, और शुगर मिल में जाके हम इसका एक केस स्टडी लेने वाले हैं। तो बहुत ही सिंपल चैप्टर है। तो पहले जो हमने आई विल रिवाइज द दिस whole chapter within 2-3 minutes. First we have discussed about the need for cogeneration. What is the need, right? In this the thermal power plants are major source of electricity supply in India. The conventional method of power generation and supply to be for the customer is wasteful in sense that only about the third of the primary energy fed into the power plant is actually made available to the user in the form of electricity. In conventional power plant, efficiency is only 35%, and remaining 65% energy will get lost. So we have to utilize this energy, 65% energy, for the good efficiency of the plant. We can use this energy for other purpose also, right? The major source of this of loss is in the conversion process is the rejected to the surrounding or water, right? So also further losses are found 10% associated, right? Then we have discussed principle of cogeneration. That is, cogeneration combine heat and power. It is also called as CHP, that is combine heat and power. Cogeneration means combine heat and power. It is defined as the sequential generation of two different forms of useful energy from a single primary energy source, right? Typically mechanical energy and thermal energy. Mechanical energy may be used to drive an alternator for producing electricity, or rotating equipment such as motor, compressor, pump, fan, etc., delivering various services. Thermal energy can be used either for direct process application or for indirect process, steam, hot water, hot air for dryer, and chilled water for process cooling. Cogeneration provides a wide range of technologies for applications in various domains of economic activities. The overall efficiency of energy use in cogeneration mode can be up to 85%. Here in conventional power plant is only 35%. So we have to utilize more and more energy. See here, in industries, we have taken an example with Sankey diagram of industry, right? Then we have discussed about the factors influencing cogeneration, right? There are 4 factors that we have discussed. First one is base electrical load matching. Second one is base thermal load matching. Third one is electrical load matching, and fourth one is thermal load matching. So in this base electrical load matching, we have discussed the cogeneration plant is sized to be meet the minimum electricity demand of the site based on the historical demand curve. The rest of the needed power is purchased from the utility grid. The thermal energy requirement of the site could be met by cogeneration system alone or by addition of boilers. Then, if the thermal energy is generated with the base electrical load exceeds the plant's demand, and if the situation permits, excess thermal energy can be exported to the neighboring customer. The second point is the base thermal load matching. In the base thermal load matching, cogeneration system is sized to supply the minimum thermal energy requirement of the site. Standby boilers or burners are operated during periods when the demand for heat is higher. The prime mover installed operates at full load at all times if the electricity demand of the site exceeds that which can be provided by the prime mover. Then the remaining amount can be purchased from the grid. Likewise, local laws permits the excess electricity can be sold to the power utility. Next one is electrical load matching. In this system, the facility is totally independent of the power utility grid. All the power requirements of the site, including the reserve needed during scheduled and unscheduled maintenance, are to be taken into account while sizing the systems. This is also referred to a stand-alone system. If the thermal energy demand of the site is higher than the generated by the cogeneration system, auxiliary boilers are used. On the other hand, when the thermal energy demand is low, some thermal energy is wasted. If there is a possibility, excess thermal energy can be exported to the neighboring facility. And last one is a thermal load matching. See here, in thermal load matching, the cogeneration system is designed to meet the thermal energy requirement of the site at any time. The prime movers are operated following the thermal demand. So during the period when the electricity demand exceeded the generation capacity, the deficit can be compensated by the power purchased from the grid. Similarly, if the local legislation permits electricity produced in excess at any time may be sold to the utility. And last point we have discussed, that is important technical parameters of cogeneration, that is heat to power ratio, second quality of thermal energy needed, then load patterns, then fuels available, then system reliability, then retrofit versus, then electricity buyback, and last one is local environmental regulation. The question will ask like this: what are the important technical parameters for the cogeneration for 7 marks or 5 marks? So in the heat to power ratio, it is most important technical parameter influencing the selection of the type of cogeneration system. The heat power ratio of a facility should match with the characteristics of cogeneration system to be installed. A definition of this is the ratio of the thermal energy to the electricity required by the energy consuming facility. This is the definition. Next, quality of thermal energy needed. The quality of thermal energy needed also determines the type of cogeneration system for right. For sugar mill, the thermal energy is about 120 degree, and for cement factory it is 1450. Then load pattern, then fuels available. The fuels availability, some potential fuel available, and then system reliability. If you have any doubt, please ask me on phone. We have up to this lecture we have completed the 3 chapters. That is first energy scenario, second mechanical system, and third one is cogeneration. From this we have to take one site visit for the sugar cogeneration plant in the sugar mill. Then after this we will take a visit at any sugar mill. So thank you very much.